is Team Time, brought to you by the National Cup Series, and I am with the 3D 2022 AA team out of Virginia. Hold on one second. Now I'm ready in my 3D hat. We're going to catch up on some fun stuff, and then we're going to catch up on some really deeper questions. It's going to be amazing. But I want to start off. Kennedy, let's go to you. On a scale of 1 to 10, Kennedy, how intense is Coach Cash during a really tight game?
Probably above a 10. She broke the scale, in my opinion. It's not like a bad intense though. It's like it gets everyone hyped up, and we're just it reflects onto us in our game.
And Kara, have you seen Coach Cash give you a look during a huddle that just tells you it's time?
Yeah, 100%. It's almost a death glare. You can't mess up anymore. You have to just go and give your 100%. It's a little scary, but the good scary.
Good kind of scary. Nothing wrong with that. Paige, let me ask you this. 2020 was a really hard year and tough. Can you give me an example of something that was just absolutely great about the year 2020?
I think still being able to have an opportunity to be able to connect with my team and talk with the team on Zooms, and Cash still finding a way to do small practices, and even with the big, our whole team be able to start going back to practices as sooner than other teams. And that just made my love for lacrosse stay with me. Nothing ever faded because I wasn't able to go to games or have a high school season. She really helped the team stay together and have a connection.
Love it. Way to go, Coach Cash. You got to love the positives coming from him. Colleen, let me ask you a question. Who has the best pregame music out of everybody?
Definitely Paige. I play it off my speaker, but I always play Paige's playlists. So.
Okay, give me an example of a song that's on that playlist that you're just like, yes.
I don't really know our hype song because they're all remixes.
We love Kanye West on there.
Definitely.
Oh, okay. Yeah, can't tell me nothing. Alyssa, who on your team is the most likely to forget their penny or forget their mouthpiece or forget their goggles? And on my teams, it would have been me.
I don't really. Maybe Lauren. I don't think so. Maybe me.
Yeah.
I feel like we've all forgotten something at one time or another.
Okay, Carrot, you have a memory from a big game, something that just happened that you'll never forget in a big moment for your 3D 2022 AA squad?
There's been a lot of memorable moments. We make a lot of changes on the go, and honestly, I think that really has stuck with me. Cash makes a lot of changes, and we just go with it. And usually it works out in the end. If we're down by 1, we'll usually come out with a dub. So,
Kennedy, let me ask you this. Who's kind of the team clown? Who keeps things light when you really need to relax and chill?
Honestly, I would say Lauren. I think she just can get anyone to laugh, or she gets me to laugh at any time. So probably Lauren.
And Emily, let me ask you this. Who would win a lip sync contest if your team had one? Who do you think would be able to pull off the dance moves and the lip sync?
Definitely Paige.
Alyssa, who has the best cheers in the huddle? When you're breaking out of the huddle, who really gets you guys going?
I really think Kara, because she always has some type of motivation, and it really gets us pumped up and ready to go. And she always ends it by saying, "I love you guys."
Nice, Kara. Way to go. Paige, let's go to you. What's your favorite team event and why?
Probably our Florida tournaments, because it's so fun to be able to travel with your friends and build connections with players you didn't really know before and meet other 3D players and play with them. And I feel like every single year we go to Florida, our team just gets closer and closer. And it's one of my favorite things. I look forward to it every single year, and I'm sad I can't go back next year.
You should be a broadcaster. That's a perfect tease right into our sponsor, the National Cup Series, which finishes in Tampa, right where 3D. Coach Cash, what do you think of that facility down in Tampa where you guys had your clinic?
We loved it. These guys were all on site in Tampa. That was abs, right, guys? Remember? It was amazing, great weather. We had a fabulous time. It's like some sick lacrosse. We cannot
All right, so
wait to go back.
Yeah, I can't wait to have you back. I'm going to ask Kara and Emily this question. And Kara, you're first. Who would you pick out of the group that's on the screen now? Who would you pick to babysit your own children 20 years from now?
Oh my gosh. Let me go through the names. Oh, Kennedy. Yeah, probably Kennedy. She's so responsible. She'll take care of my kids.
Emily, how about you?
I would pick Kennedy too. She'd probably be the only one I could trust with one of my kids.
I will make note of the fact that neither one of you said Coach Cash, and neither one of you said me. And we are, in fact, on the screen. Alyssa, let me ask, who would you have babysit your kids?
Probably Kennedy or Emily, definitely.
Okay.
I feel like I could trust them a lot with my kids, or Cash.
There you go. There you go. Colleen, who has the smelliest cleats on the whole team? I'm sorry, Lauren.
Okay. Either me or Paige.
Coach Cash, you dodged a bullet there. All right. I like to see it. Any of you have a big moment where you met a celebrity, where you had a chance, a brush with greatness, as we call it in our older years?
Yeah. So actually, I have two. The first one was actually this past year at the Ambassadors Cup. We met one of the hockey players for the Tampa Bay Lightnings on his boat, and we saw the Stanley Cup. And then on our way back to our hotel, we ran into the LA Rams, and we talked with them while they were getting onto the elevator. And then I used to go to the baseball games a lot, and I met Mariana Rivera.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a Stanley Cup. You know, I'm a hockey guy. So Stanley Cup, and then you got to meet with some of the, what was the team that was there?
The LA Rams. They were staying at our
LA
hotel.
Rams. Yeah. Okay. I'd love to. Anybody else celebrity brush? Anybody meet a celebrity ever?
I saw Post Malone at Disneyland, and I met Anne Hathaway at the LAX airport.
Kennedy, what's your go-to pregame song, or what's your favorite song if you're going to sing one? What do you got?
My personal go-to pregame song has always been Stir Fry by Migos, but that's just me.
Emily, along those same lines, if you had to karaoke sing one song to save your own life, what song are you going to sing, and how well are you going to do?
Probably All Night Longer, because I've known that song forever, so it's the only one I can remember all the words to.
Alyssa, same question to you, but this time you got to sing. You got to karaoke a song to save Coach Cash's life. What song are you going to sing?
Oh, any Taylor Swift song.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
T-Swizzle.
Yep, 100%. Any.
Does she sing that song, I Got a Blank Space?
Yes.
How about me knowing that?
Nailed it, Booker. Nailed it. I think it was enough to sing it.
Finally, I got one right. All right, let's get into the meat of the order and these 4 questions that I talked to you guys about a little bit. And Kara, I'd love the chance to start with you. Can you give us an example of when in the past you've helped a teammate become the best possible version of themselves?
I don't know if I can think of one specific example, but I just know goalies need a lot of recognition. Lacrosse, or any sport in general, is very emotional, and to be in a goal cage is pretty scary. Anytime I'm on the defensive end and I can say anything to a goalie, I'll always do that. I'll always tell them, any type of encouragement to keep them going, because I can never be in their position.
Me either. Paige, same question to you. Helping a teammate become the best possible version of themselves.
I think last year I had one of my best friends on the team, she just would get so down on herself after games if certain things would happen. And I think just like sitting and talking to her and helping her, like letting her know how amazing of a player she is and how much she really means to the team and the difference she makes, and just letting like people get in their heads so much on competitive lacrosse games. You lose one game, you miss one game, or you win a game, it really can get in your head and mess with your self-perception of how you play the sport. And I feel like just sitting down and talking with people you trust on the team can really make a difference on how you view yourself and your confidence when you're playing. So I feel like just talking to my friends and letting them know how much of an impact they make on me and the whole entire team, and how we wouldn't really be a team without them.
Wow. That's a great way to be a better teammate. And it's an important part of all team sports. I think we can all learn a little bit from that. So thank you. Next question is, what's an example of finding a way you were able to prove that you know the difference between right and wrong? And I always kind of preface this question with, when I was in 7th grade, I got a ride from a friend to a school dance. And we got there a little bit early, and unbeknownst to me, he had cigarettes, and he asked me, like, hey, here, have it. He told me, here, have a cigarette. And I kind of refused. And I, under the guise of, I didn't want to let my parents down. Kennedy, do you have an example of when you may have been able to successfully prove that you know the difference between right and wrong? And can you share it with us?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough to have like 2 amazing parents that are pretty strict, but I'm like grateful for it because it's taught me like the differences between being a good kid and a bad kid. And honestly, like, I don't know if I have like a specific example, but lacrosse and like playing multiple sports has helped me like, like not all of the people that I'm surrounded with are athletes. And I feel like as an athlete, you feel that kind of almost like you feel the need to like be at your best and like not let anyone down and kind of just like be a good role model for everyone else around you. So that's just like kind of helped me, and knowing that like people are watching me, people on my team, people just in general, and it should, be important to me to be the best role model and person that I can be.
Thank you. That's awesome. Emily, what advice would you go back and give your 10-year-old or 9-year-old self? What advice would you say to prepare for the future?
Probably just enjoy all of the little things and don't worry about things like going to a game. If you lose the game, it doesn't matter. Still enjoy the bus ride on the way home with your teammates, because they're not going to be able to be your teammates forever. So you're going to miss those times if you're still upset about the game and not talking to anyone.
Alyssa, how about you? Anytime what would you go back and wish you could teach yourself as a 10-year-old?
Honestly, don't think about all the negatives. If you can't catch, you're going to learn, and you're going to start and love the sport. Just keep working on your speed and your agility, and just learn to climb the rough side of the mountain, because if you go up it too fast, you're just going to fall down and it's not that fun anymore.
Coach Cash, how about you? What advice would you go back and give your 10-year-old self?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. I'm sitting here thinking about it while these guys are answering it, and I think they did a better job than I could ever have. I just think when I was like 10, I thought it was going to last forever, like I thought this is going to just keep going, and things are never going to change. You're never going to get older. And when you do, you realize like you lose some of those opportunities now to compete the way that you once did. And maybe there were moments that you wasted, right? Like staying hung up on a bad game or a bad play and not having short-term memory about something. Now I would just go back and tell that like younger version of myself, like let it go, like recover quicker, and don't sweat the small stuff,
Love it. Thanks. Let's go with Kara and Lauren here. Can you think of an example when you went out of your way to help somebody you could tell they just weren't having a good game, they weren't having a good day, or they weren't having a great experience? Kara, you have an example of that?
I don't really, know if I have a specific example. Just everyone has a bad day sometime. Things are hard outside of lacrosse, and when you get to practice, you kind of just have to let that go. Cash always says, let go to school, let go of your family life. Just let that go. You're at practice. You know, that doesn't matter anymore. I think that really sits with everyone. As soon as we get to practice, we just have to let it all go and play our best game and have fun.
And it's time for us to wrap up anyway. I thank you guys so much. I hope to see you at one of the Under Armour tryouts. I hope to see you at the District East event or the National Cup Series. We're going to do a great job. Once again, I'm a 3D
Let's
fan.
go.
Love what you guys do. I love the way you play. Thank you for sharing some time with us, and I know some people are going to get a lot of value out of the responses you gave. Bye. Thanks for being a part of it.
Thanks, Booker. You're the best.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cash.
Thank you.
See you, ladies.